but it's going to be a fantastic project for Pan African. If you remember, we paid a very limited consideration for what is now a gold reserve recoverable of 1.1 million ounces.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Pan African Resources CEO, Cobus Lourdes. Cobus, very good to speak with you. You're out with your full year results, and it looks like a really good year for the company, helped both by production and also the gold price.
Yeah, certainly we're very pleased to have achieved production guidance. And then, yes, as you say, the gold price definitely is a tailwind at this point. But it's quite important to note that for the year, I mean, we received a gold price of just under $2,100 per ounce. And gold prices really only started rallying towards March and later. So, I mean, currently the gold price, as you might know, is $2,500. So that should bode well for the year ahead. And obviously, specifically also because we're sort of going to be growing production quite materially with Mintails coming on.
So gold production for the year up 6.2%, and you did have some operational enhancements that helped towards that. Could you talk us through those?
Sure. Well, yeah, the teams did quite well. I think certainly Elikhulu performed excellently. So production was up there by 9%, I think. So both tons and recoveries increased at Elikhulu. And then also the Fairview and Sheba operations at Barberton did quite a bit better after the implementation of continuous operations.
All-in sustaining costs slightly above guidance. You talk about the delay in the commissioning of the Evander subvertical shaft. And I presume that is something that will be coming through this financial year.
Yeah, it's a temporary setback. I mean, the Evander ore body is a great ore body. I mean, we've demonstrated over the last years that we can generate very attractive returns. We've invested heavily into that asset. And yes, the subvertical we expect to come online actually in the next couple of weeks. So it's going to double our wasting capacity at the Evander underground and give us a lot more flexibility. So certainly the team's looking forward to commissioning that project.
Looking at some of the financial metrics, revenue up 17%, profit up 30% plus, and your dividend as well. So rewarding shareholders at the same time.
Yeah, so it's quite exciting, I think, to be able to pay a large dividend like this in the same year that we are commissioning a large capital project like Mintails. It's actually the largest single capital project we've undertaken as a group. And that demonstrates, I think, the quality of the portfolio.
And you talk you're poised for the next phase of growth also at your Mogale Tailings Retreatment project.
Yeah, that's MTR. Commissioning is scheduled for the 3rd of October. So currently the site is a hive of activity, fair to say. There's more than 1,000 people on site. But it's going to be a fantastic project for Pan African. If you remember, we paid a very limited consideration for what is now a gold reserve recoverable of 1.1 million ounces. And that's exceptional. And that's really how you make your returns in terms of buying assets of this quality for the price. And then the ability that we have to execute these projects on budget and on schedule, I think sets us apart.
Cobus, yeah, you talked about the favorable gold price environment at the moment, $2,500 plus. How are you positioned for 2025 to take advantage of that?
Well, it's an exciting time for us. I think we managed to, if you look at our cost guidance of just below $1,400 an ounce, compares very well with the rest of the sector. And then ramping up production now from MTR, just more exposure to that very attractive gold price.
Well, Cobus, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress with these projects. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having us, and all the best. Thanks.
Very welcome. Pan African Resources CEO, Cobus Lourdes.